What's going on, everybody? Your man Eric Wilson here, Sports Arena. Checking in with my brother, Mr. Alex Fleming. We haven't done this in a while, but we're gonna go ahead and get right down to business. It's week 13 in the NFL. So as teams, God bless you, begin to get themselves aligned for the playoffs. Um, I really don't think this is going to be much long of an episode, real talk, because I think we are on the same page in a lot of these games tonight. But as always, my brother, first and foremost, how are you? Thank you for joining me here tonight on the Sports Arena.
Bro, working, doing my thing, redefining my craft, shaking these haters off.
I need to get whatever you drinking, brother, because I got some haters I need to shake off myself. But we're gonna talk about that later. Let's get down to business. And let's start in the AFC South. Excuse me, the NFC South. My apologies, because Taysom Hill heading to Atlanta to face the Falcons. I mean, we talked about this on Monday. We're giving credit to Sean Payton being the offensive head coach guru that he is. He can make anybody look good under center. So, I'm taking the Saints all day in this one. What's your thoughts?
Atlanta got embarrassed versus Taysom the first time they faced. Taysom hasn't thrown a touchdown pass, so I'm going to continue to say that Taysom is not a valued or real quarterback. However, his
Okay.
defense makes a lot of people look good. His defense is shutting people down. They're the number one defense right now. So as long as that defense stays intact and they do what they do, it really doesn't matter who they face. Expect a better fight from ATL. First time was in New Orleans. Second time it's in ATL. Both named the Mercedes-Benz Dome. I still got New Orleans, but not for the faint of heart. This is going to be a close one.
Really? Fana? Okay. All right. So real quick before we move on, Raheem Morris, does he stay as a head coach next year?
This is the NFL we're talking about. You know they don't like minority hiring. Romeo Cannell is the coach temporarily for Houston. Raheem Morris is the interim coach that took over after Dan Quinn. Not less than 2 years ago, they fired 6 minority coaches. And now, if you add Raheem Morris and Romeo Cannell, there's now 5-6. I'm counting Ron Rivera. So there's that.
He invited to the cookouts. We know.
He invited to the cookout. I think Romeo keeps his position. I don't believe Raheem keeps his.
Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. So the 4-7 Detroit Lions heading to your hometown, facing the monsters of the Midway and the Chicago Bears. Not sure really who's starting, whether it's Mitchell or it's Nick, but I'm taking the Bears all day in this one. It's a divisional matchup, and more importantly, they have got to keep themselves on pace to at least get a wild card spot in the playoffs. What say you?
The exact same feeling. Detroit is a dumpster fire. It's a long time that they should have fired Chuck E. Cheese. I like Darrell Bevell. He makes number 7. Hey, I like Darrell Bevell, but the Detroit is blah. And for some reason, don't know why, Mitchell Trubisky plays well against Detroit. They starving for a victory, bro. It's been a month since they've had one. I got Chicago.
Do I put Mitchell in at quarterback this week?
For what?
Fantasy purposes. You say he plays well against Detroit.
If you have no other options, Mr. Trubisky is
I
a good
have
fit.
options. I just thought, he might outshine some of them other options. I figured I'd at least ask. Fair enough. Let's go now to the AFC South matchup that I actually that I started off the show here on the Sports Arena saying 7-4 Indianapolis Colts at the 4-7 Houston Texans. We just talked about Romeo Crennel. However, this man is 0-3 against the Indianapolis Colts. What do you see in this matchup?
Indy's defense is elite. That offense is suspect, like Kevin Spacey suspect. Some weeks they're good, some weeks they're awful. Here's the constant: Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
No DeAndre Hopkins, 50-50 Brandon Cooks, no David Johnson, and now no more Page and Kenny Stills. Look for Mr. Coulter to be the new elite wide receiver out of that bunch. since Kenny Stills and Brandon Cooks is gone. I don't trust Randall Cobb. Kiki Kuti went out with the Drake song, and I can't name another wide receiver that's actually worth value. Look for Coulter to make his way on this roster. And for some odd reason, this week, I like Houston.
Wow. I mean, listen, I'll be the first one to admit when I saw this matchup on paper, the first thing I said to myself was, I don't like Phillip Rivers, but I like Frank Reich, so I know what the brother's capable of doing. And I would take Indy on this. But surprisingly, sir, you and I are in agreement on this one. I feel this team has finally found their sense of identity, albeit too little too late. Even though J.J. Watt has contemplated leaving this team and wanting to move on, and as we already spoke about, the number one wide receiver in the NFL today, DeAndre Hopkins, is in Arizona. So, but I just think at home, divisional matchup, I think we're going to see Phillip Rivers shoot the Colts out of a game on this one. I'm taking Houston with you along. Let's keep it moving here on the sports arena. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. You have a 2-8-1 team heading to the 305 to face the 7-4 Miami Dolphins. And as our boy Jerry Vistola said about on the carousel Thursday night, it really doesn't matter whether it's Fitzmagic or it's Tua. Miami's still winning. And now they have to win out to win the AFC East. But I got Miami all day in this one.
Miami. Let's not waste time. Cincinnati has been Cincinnati since they lost Burrow.
Okay. So, Alex, a team that you have covered all season long, this week they are not at TIAA Bank. They are actually at the U.S. Bank Stadium facing the 5-6 Minnesota Vikings. Does Jacksonville get their second win?
No. And here's why. Justin Jefferson is going to eat up that secondary. They're pretty good against the run. They gave up about 130 plus to Chubb. If Dalvin Cook is healthy, major quotations with that, he can run wild. I think Dalvin's hiding the injury is only going to get half of what we expect. But then again, they don't have a shutdown corner. CJ Henderson's on IR. Clay Brooks is not going to stop Henderson. And Adam Thielen is coming back from Corona. So, yes, look for Minnesota to pull out a victory.
Okay. All right. Listen, there are two reasons why I actually like Minnesota. Well, I'll say three. First off, Dalvin Cook. Secondly, you're welcome, Minnesota, for Justin Jefferson. And thirdly, they've got a defensive guy with a pretty interesting name by the name of Mr. Eric Wilson, 3 sacks. So I expect Mike Glennon to get another one, courtesy of the man who shares the same name as me. Like you, I'm taking Minnesota on this one. Here we go, Alex. I got to ask the question, my brother. Is this the week that the Jets get their first win as they host the Las Vegas Raiders?
Let me find a coin. Hell no. Look, the Las Vegas Raiders were embarrassed by the ATL last week. It was ugly. Like, really, really prom night ugly. They need to let out some of that frustration. Who better than the 0-11 pitiful, pathetic Adam Gase-led Jets? I see Henry Ruggs getting at least one deep touchdown, if not two.
Alex, there's something inside of me, and I don't know what it is. And I haven't been drinking. I swear to you, this has been water the whole night.
Do you need some Pepto-Bismol?
I don't know. I might need some Tums, some Alka-Seltzer, plop, plop, fizz, because I don't know what it is. But something inside of me is telling me to take the 0-11 Jets. I for the purpose of the show, I'm not going to do it.
Thank God.
But I'm telling you this right now. If the Las Vegas Raiders get embarrassed 2 weeks in a row, I'm writing them off this season.
If Vegas loses to the Jets, I'm done with them. I'm done.
I'm writing them off this season. I'm telling you right now. But like you, I will share in that. You have that anger. You know that Chucky is going to remind these boys every single day. We lost 43-6
To the
to Atlanta.
Falcons.
There is no excuse for what we need to do this Sunday. So, like you, I'm taking the Raiders, but there's something I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to get some Pepto or something after the show. But keep it going, my brother, Mr. Alex Fleming, Jacksonville Jaguars contributor, Florida Sun Review, Fantasy and Flavors, host of the Carousel. This brother's doing so much work and putting that time and that hustle and that grind in. So here's an interesting matchup for you, my friend. The 8-3 Cleveland Browns. Let me say that again for those who may not have heard me. The 8-3 Cleveland Browns are heading to Tennessee to face the 8-3 Titans. Now, Myles Garrett has been cleared to play this week. So the Myles Garrett, Derrick Henry matchup is what all eyes are going to be on. Who comes away with the W, sir?
Baker Mayfield has 2,100 yards passing. He is not elite. He hasn't looked elite, even though he does have weapons around him. Here's the funny thing about the Cleveland-Tennessee matchup. When Cleveland was whoop-de-wooing at the mouth at the beginning of last year, Tennessee went inside their building and embarrassed them. Take away Jake Conklin from Tennessee, take away Vic Beasley from Tennessee, and take away, I want to say Simmons or someone from Tennessee because he's now in Denver, and you have a much weaker defense. Now let's look at Cleveland. Addition by subtraction. Jarvis Landry got his first 100-yard and touchdown last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chubb, Hunt might be the most explosive running back duo because they are leading the league in rushing. Look for Cleveland to exercise some demons and get some payback against Tennessee. Upset special, even though they're both 8-3. I got the Browns.
You know, you spoke about the ass whooping that happened last year, week 1, 43-13. Because it is back in Tennessee, I just see history repeating itself.
The first game was in Cleveland.
Actually, sir, it was at Tennessee.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So they're back in Tennessee, back at the scene of the crime.
Yes, sir, they are.
Now I'm definitely going Cleveland.
I think lightning hits twice. And I say Derrick Henry once again runs over them boys. He may not have 178 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he definitely going to let Kareem Hunt know, you in my house. You ain't just going to come in my yard. I did it to you once. I'm going to do it to you again. I got Tennessee in this matchup.
All right.
My brother, NFC West, the best division in the NFL, has another matchup. The 7-4 LA Rams with a quarterback who, in my opinion, is great at best. I wouldn't even put him superstar, all-star, elite. He's great at best. Facing the up-and-coming brother who I think is going to be an all-star over the next couple of years, and that is Mr. Kyler Murray under Cliff Kingsbury and the Arizona Cardinals sitting at 6-5. Rams at the Cardinals. What do you see in this game?
This division beats up on each other. They know each other way too well. I like Kyler Murray over Jared Goff. The problem is I like the duo of Kupp and Woods over Hopkins and Fitzgerald. Jalen Ramsey and DeAndre Hopkins are going to be fighting all night. And the smallest edge in the running game goes to Arizona with Drake and Edmonds. X Factor, Aaron Donald. I like the Rams to keep it moving in the toaster.
I can't go against Nook. I can't do it. Doesn't matter what team he's on. Still the number 1 wide receiver in the league, and you neglected to mention their slot guy in Christian Kirk. Now, I don't know if that was purposefully or if you just weren't factoring him into the equation. But Christian Kirk in certain moments seems to just rise his head just above to get the job done when necessary. I am going to go against you in this. I am going to pick Arizona because they're at home. And I feel like the last time they played each other, it was a close game. 7 points. It's a divisional matchup. Anything and everything is possible. I will take the home team on this one and take Arizona. So let's keep it going here on the Sports Arena. Man, Eric Wilson alongside my brother, Mr. Alex Fleming. Alex, we saw what Seattle is capable of. This week, they're hosting the team that I say is actually going to win the NFC East in the New York Football Giants, who are currently sitting at 4-7. I'm taking the Seahawks this week just because they're home. DK Metcalf continually plays with a chip on his shoulder. Tyler Lockett is just, he's there when you need him. But the fact that the duo of Carson and Hyde, who I personally believe would give a true challenge to your running back duo tandem that you spoke of earlier, I like Hyde and Carson alongside my cousin Russ and continually letting him cook. I'm taking the Seahawks.
No Danny Dimes, so they won't have a rushing game. Can you remember the last time Colt McCoy was good? I can. He was a Texas Longhorn. That's how long ago he was good. Golden Tate's been missing in action since him and Jalen Ramsey fought over his sister. Sterling Shepard, where are you? I'm gonna have to label you Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
That defense, look, the secondary, we know the secondary. I'm not going to pick on the secondary. Linebacking core can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop the run, and they don't have a corner that can match up with DK Metcalf. Gee, I wonder which way I'm going with this one. Is Russell at home?
Yes.
Russell's at home. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Seattle.
All right, sir. Here you go. Take your time in your 90 seconds to do whatever you do best, and that is just destroy my football team. My blood pressure medicine's already high. But at 3-7-1, Philadelphia is heading to Lambeau. Go ahead, speak on it. Go ahead, get it off your chest.
I'm drinking for him because it's got to be piss poor pathetic to be an Eagles fan. You guys are sorry beyond sorry. The board game's got nothing on you, Philadelphia Eagles. Look, your defense is the only reason why we're even talking about this game. You got more corners than there are in Hollywood Boulevard. Have you found Vanessa Del Rio yet? Brown, Carson Wentz, 15 interceptions, 46 sacks. I think he likes getting touched by the opponent. Why do you have Miles Sanders and Boston Scott if you're not going to hand off the ball? Your garbage quarterback cost somebody $500,000 by throwing a Hail Mary at the end of the Monday Night Football game. So you can't even do that right. And now you're going up against a quarterback who's got 33 touchdowns, number one in play action touchdowns, has an excellent passer rating, and is fighting with Mahomes for MVP. And Mr. Discount Double Check is letting everybody know, I'm not dead. Freddie ain't dead. You sweaty bastards. Green Bay is playing some of the best football of their life. And you're going up against straight recycled trash. I implore you, find a better team or root for the college team because the Eagles couldn't hold on to a bottle of water in the desert.
That's Philly calling you and telling you to shut the hell up. Listen, man, you already know how I feel. I can't stand my team right now, and I'll be the first one to say it. I'm picking someone else to win the division. I haven't done that ever. Even the year we went 4-12 with whoever we had, I wasn't calling it. Fact of the matter is this. We are standing in our own way. The problem lies within Philadelphia, within that organization, and within that locker room. And until they fix it, you're right. Can't stop a nosebleed. Can't beat a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. And as sure as the sun rises and sets over this great nation of ours, as an Eagle fan, I love them and support them, but they can't figure it the hell out. I'm still picking them because I don't root against them. My blood pressure will be sky high. It is what it is. We're moving on. Hey, here you go. Cam Newton, Justin Herbert. Who you like?
This is a coin flip. Look,
Ooh.
this is a coin flip. Justin Herbert is a rookie quarterback. And the last time I checked, Bill Belichick has a plan for rookie quarterbacks. Keenan Allen is a man. Look for Stephon Gilmore to be breathing his breath, literally and figuratively. Austin Eckler's back. He could be a problem for the running game. New England is down at least 8 players due to the fact that they opted out because of COVID or because of injury. Cam Newton has been giving people middle school numbers. He is not fantasy relevant. With all that being said, I got New England. They're not dead yet. Justin Herbert's getting his lumps now. 2 to 3 years, he's going to be a viable fantasy quarterback, top notch. But right now, he's going to take the lumps because these are the breaks. And Bill Belichick has an extraordinary record against rookie quarterbacks. I got New England.
Do you remember the movie Cool Runnings?
Of course.
So you remember when the guys are toppled over in the bobsled and the guy says to him, "Are you dead yet?" And he says, "No, man."
No, man.
That's how I feel about Cam Newton. Like you, I am taking the Patriots because, like you said, they ain't dead yet. They still got an opportunity. Don't know if it's going to happen, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Unlike the Jets, they are not mathematically eliminated from the postseason. New England
Oh,
can
no.
get this
The
together.
Patriots have a heartbeat. The Patriots have a heartbeat.
They do. Sunday night matchup, Alex. Denver Broncos facing the Kansas City Chiefs. One simple question. Does Denver have a quarterback this week?
Denver has a quarterback this week.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. I figured I asked.
KC, closer than it should be. KC.
Completely agree. We got 2 Monday night matchups. So again, like I asked the question with the Jets, I'm going to ask the question here. Alex Fleming, is this the week that the Pittsburgh Steelers get their first loss to the Washington football team?
Trick question. You asked if this is the week.
Yes, sir.
I'll answer it like this. Monday? No. Sunday? Yes. Washington football team's front seven is so legit. 36 sacks so far on the season, and they rushed that passer like nobody else. I still believe Chase Young and Montez Sweat need their own cologne line, Predator Heat, because it's going to be so real. The Swiss Army knife Antonio Gibson lets you know what he's capable of when he gets the same or the right amount of touches. Terry McLaurin does not get the respect he deserves. He reminds me of a young Jerry Rice. I don't like trolls, so I'm going to emphasize that word young. If he had a quarterback, he'd be the number 1 wide receiver in the league. Alex Smith, he's Play-Doh. Bend but don't break. Pittsburgh has been getting screwed on the schedule left and right. Look for Washington to beat them up like some beef jerky, only for Buffalo to come along and pick up the pieces and seal their defeat on Sunday. However, Pittsburgh better be on upset alert. Whenever they went empty set with all wide receivers and tight ends, they throw a lot of touchdowns. You know what hasn't been happening whenever they go empty set? There hasn't been much of a pass rush. I think if you're going to beat Pittsburgh, you're going to have to get a pass rush and you have to stop the tight ends. The wide receivers are coin flips between Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, James Washington, and of course, Juju. You're going to have to pick your poison because they all can be hot. Connor may not play. Snell not running the ball right. Anthony McFarland needs more touches. Eric Ebron is the key. If Ebron eats up on the linebackers, look for them to beat Washington handily. If Ebron's not catching passes, and they got a pass rush, don't be shocked.
So you're putting the difference of this game on the shoulders of Eric Ebron.
Absolutely. If Eric Ebron catches passes across the middle, it makes it a long day for there to be a pass rush for the Washington football team. If Ebron's dropping passes or he's missing an action, look for Big Ben to be under more pressure than Queen and David Bowie.
So who are you taking?
By the slimmest of margins, Pittsburgh pulls it out just to lose this next Sunday.
Wow. Well, because we only got about 4 minutes left, I'm going to keep it simple. They haven't lost yet, and I'm going to ride with them. Pittsburgh all day. Let's get to the game that our boy Mookie, I'm sure, is going to be waiting and ready for on Monday night. Buffalo at San Francisco. Now, I asked a question a couple weeks ago on the show. Is San Fran the true dark horse? And you, Mike and Alex, Mike and Jake all gave me your thoughts on it. But in this particular matchup, very simply, Buffalo, San Fran, who you got?
Buffalo. They return to the scene of the crime in State Farm. They are running the football now. Josh Allen threw for almost 400 yards against Arizona. What in the hell makes you think he won't throw the ball against that San Francisco D, who's
Richard
just
Sherman?
now starting to get back healthy?
Richard
Sherman's going to
Sherman.
be covering Stephon Diggs. Who got Diggs? Richard Sherman. Do you remember the Super Bowl?
I do.
Yeah. Stephon Diggs is just a little bit younger, a little bit hungrier, and just a touch faster. I don't think Sherman's going to be an issue unless San Francisco can get a pass rush. Oh, that's right. No Nick Bosa, no Solomon Thomas. Look for Buffalo to handle business.
Oh, it's a hard pill for me to swallow, but I can't go against our boy Mookie Hawkins at Wolfo Sports. So, yeah, I'm going to ride with you. I'm going to take Buffalo on this one just because I just know that Mookie wants all that smoke. His team's fitting to get it. Last game, Tuesday night. That team down there in Texas that's not named the Texans, sitting at 3-8, going up against the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm not even sure if our man, El Freaky, your boy, is going to be starting. So we may see another RG3 sighting. With that being said, who you got in this game? Baltimore or that other team?
John Shearer said it best. As long as Baltimore can at least walk forward, they can beat the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott is not a top 5, borderline not a top 10 running back this year. CeeDee Lamb is the bright spot on this team. Bruh, he's a rookie. Not good. Defense, you got any standouts? I mean, Jalen Smith's doing his thing, but really? Really? And Baltimore desperately needs a win because after the Pittsburgh game, their schedule gets a hell of a lot easier. Only bump in the road they got left is Cleveland, and El Freaky will be back for that. Look for a handwritten ass whipping from the Baltimore Ravens to give to those Dallas Cowgirls.
Oh, you gave me an early Christmas present, my brother, and I appreciate you for it. That's going to do it for us here on the Sports Arena. Man, Eric Wilson, alongside my brother, Mr. Alex Fleming. Hey, I'll put it to you like this. I want to end the show like Snoop Dogg used to say back in the day. Always shoot for the moon. And even if you miss, you'll still be among the stars. Peace.